Yo, what's going on, guys? Jay here, and today we are going to review J. Cole's surprise album, Might Delete Later. Now, he's only deleted one of the 12 tracks so far, but he did drop this with no promo and no announcement on April 5th, earlier in the month. So, we've all had some time to sit with the project at this point. It's been pretty, I guess I'll say controversial, given everything that also ties in with the disses and beef with Kendrick Lamar and Drake, as well as J. Cole's own chassis throws and the apology, which I'm not going to touch on too much here. Just going to talk about the music for the most part. But yeah, let's get right into it. So we'll start off with the intro, Pricey, which kicks off the album with an emphatic, grandiose instrumental that J. Cole just absolutely eats up. He has that raw energy, that hunger. He is barred the fuck up and boastful on this whole track. It's about 5 minutes long. You get a great chorus from Young Dro, as well as some vocals and a refrain from Ari Lennox, who kills it, also tying into some of the themes of the track, with her refrain being missed meals to make mills, that's gangsta. Came back and gave back, that's gangsta. Well, Cole is flowing his ass off on this track. We also get one of my favorite stanzas from him that he's ever laid down. Breaking news, I've officially entered my prime, which is real interesting. This is typically the point where a rapper would start to decline. Somehow I climbed right when you thought I was fine. We're running a little behind. Nipsey was trying to tell you this is a marathon. And I mean, every verse Cole has on this song is filled with wisdom and also just very punctual bars, while also having some great metaphors on the track as well. I mean, you could say that for a crop of the tracks on this album. I mean, you know J. Cole's a lyricist and a wordsmith, and he proves that here on Pricey, as well as the Gucci Mane outro on this track, which is clearly written by Cole. I mean, I don't know. I'm not doubting Gucci, but when you listen to what he says, it's very clearly a message Cole was trying to convey. I think he just had Gucci say it at the end. But yeah, like I said, pen game here is amazing. I love this track. Great way to start off the album. Moving on to the next track, Crocodile Tears, which was previewed on his little Finsta Instagram, Might Delete Later, which is of course the name of the album now. We get an instrumental from T- that starts off with some eerie horns and builds throughout the course of the track to a nice beat drop about halfway through. And Cole is just, again, barred the fuck up on this track. Cole's crowning himself as the GOAT with some big confidence, like he does for a lot of this album. Not like what he was saying on Heaven's EP, where he's rapping about how people gave him the bronze. No, throughout this album, he is saying he is him. He's the number one. He is the GOAT of rap. And we're not here to debate whether that's true or not, because that's the type of energy you love to see a rapper like Cole bring into the track. And here on this track, he sounds like he fucking means it, and he is proving to be one of the best. Just like on Ready 24, which is another emphatic track, very hard instrumental, very high energy from Cole, where he is, again, just hungry. He is raw. His bars are better than most other rappers in the game right now. This track is a beautiful soul sample woven in as well, which plays into the soundscape of the featured artist Cameron, type of shit you might hear on some Dipset stuff. And yeah, again, on a track like this, Cole's dropping bars like, I do what I want, you guys do what you're allowed. And Cameron's feature was fun. It was a good inclusion, especially being that he narrated the intro to the off-season 95 South, or at least part of the intro, because that's a whole song. So it was very fitting to see these two link up and do a track together. Although his performance was kind of underwhelming and not anything special, it's still, the track's a banger and it fit the vibe, and it was cool to see these two do the song together finally. Huntin' Wabbits is another lyrical highlight from Cole. Although on this track, his delivery is a bit more sleepy, not slower, but just a little bit more sleepy in the tone of his voice. But it clashes nicely with this super fast-paced beat from T-. And here he's really, like I said throughout the album, he's flexing lyricism, but here he's really showing off his punchline game, with one of my favorites being, I drove to CVS, cupped up Henley, and I watch how she swallowed, bitch, I kidding you not. Where, of course, Cole's saying that he's not kidding you about the story, but also kid in her not, kid in you not, which is what the Plan B does. Later on the album, we get to Sticks and Stones. This track has a more standard boom bap beat with some hypnotic strings in the background, and is produced by The Alchemist and Belia. And like he says on the track, Cole is one of them ones here, rapping with the type of passion that we've been seeing since he really reinvigorated his career with the off-season, the type of energy he's been bringing to the table the whole decade. And this is really, like, this album isn't peak Cole, but his rapping ability and his bars at this point in career when he's trying on a song like this is peak Cole, and it's some of the best work he's put out, just like the offseason, the hunger, the energy. And honestly, he brings a lot of youthful energy to the track, even though he is a vet in the game who's dropping knowledge and words of wisdom throughout the album from his experience. And yeah, Cole is a good chorus on this track too. I really like his vocal deliveries and inflections that he's playing with here a little bit. And throughout this album, he's not experimenting too hard, but he is playing with his vocal delivery, which is very cool to see from, again, a vet in the game and a vet at the top of the game. We also got 3001, which is a track with a gritty, distorted boom bap beat from T- and Mike Will Made It that I also really enjoy. There's a lot of production highlights on this album for sure. And again, Cole's rapping like the rent is due, like he's trying to put food on the table, like he's starving. Talking about how he's going to be the only one people are playing in 3001. J. Cole also has a cool bar on here talking about how he has no problem lying his verses now that he's seen everyone else's frauds, which, I don't know, I really, because there's Cole has so many bars about, you know, being sticked up and about hitting the lick if he has to, but he also has, like, he had that bar on the Red Leather on the Future album, on, what is it, We Still Don't Trust You at Metro, where he says, if shots get to blicking, I turn into a track star. So, I don't know, I think some people might not agree that this is cool and be like, oh, you know, people should really be rapping what they're living. I agree with that to a degree, but if you got a cool bar to put in, put it the fuck in, like, because there's only so many rappers who are really rapping what they're living. It's performative for so many of these guys. Now, we got to talk about what I think is the best song on this album, Trade the Truth in Ibiza. This track has a robust beat with a great sample and creates a really good rhythm. This track honestly reminds me a lot of The Climb Back. It is just very grandiose, very lavish, and Cole just super passionately rapping, giving you great bars. He raps proudly about all the trials and tribulations he's overcome to get to this point, as well as flaunting some of his success on his listeners, talking about not just like his wealth successes, but about everything he's gained on this journey so far. Cole has a solid chorus here as well that isn't anything crazy, but isn't like bad. Cole, you know, hey, people talk shit about his chorus game. I think a lot of his hooks here are solid. He also flows his ass off throughout this whole track. Great bars like, I got a 34 waist, I had the 40 jeans, and somehow I still got too big for my britches and I tore the seams. And also, like I was saying about J. Cole's notably bad hook game, he references here, and again, a very wise, very mindful bar. I wrote a number of bad refrains, but isn't that life, dude? Make a few hits, but you gotta live with the strikes too. Now, we just talked about half the album, which is just a super barred up J. Cole, super lyrical miracle J. Cole, where he is giving you just great boom bap type instrumentals with some of his best rapping yet, the off-season type vibes. And like, honestly, some people hate on this album. I think some of his best rapping, some of his best songs in his whole career are songs like Pricey, songs like Trade the Truth and Ibiza. There is quality here, but we also have a handful of tracks that aren't not quality per se, but they are Cole getting a little experimental. Now, some people might not consider this experimental for Cole, because also it is him trying his hand at a number of mainstream sounds, but considering it's stuff that he hasn't done in his career, it's experimental for his trajectory. And I'm not saying that Might Delete Later is a experimental masterpiece, but Cole is definitely showing his range and his versatility here, especially on a song like HYB, which sees Cole along with Boz and Central C on a UK drill beat that features some exotic strings, which, like I said, is cool. Like, it's cool to see Cole doing this shit, even if it's, some people might say, oh, I don't want to hear this from Cole. You know, this is, he's above this. You know, he's just having bad lyrics on a song like this. But I say, dude is at the top of the game. He's giving us classics. Let him have fun. If he wants to drop a less lyrically inclined drill track and see how it goes, fucking go for it, dude. He deserves that and should not be criticized for trying something new. At least new to him. Boz's chorus here, pretty unmemorable. Not the coolest thing ever. Although I was just saying, we shouldn't ream Cole for trying something new, right? And again, like I said, I enjoy this song a little bit, but it's hard to live with the fact, one of the corniest, worst bars of all time, of Cole's entire career. You know where I'm going with this. We're talking about A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, M, N, N, O, P. That's little me in the classroom asking, what's L? Like, okay. Like, the rest of the song is cool, but I did not have to hear Cole rap half the fucking alphabet to ask what's L. That was just a terrible, terrible bar, and is why this is one of the weakest songs on the album. Although, again, I do appreciate Cole showing his range. Cole showing the will and the want to try something new. Cole, again, some people might say riding trends, but he's making his own thing with it, because it's not like, other than that, it's not like he drops his lyricism to a dog shit level. He's still giving you good bars, good delivery, hard flows, and a memorable song. And Central C is cool here as well. He delivers a pretty great verse, but is not show stealing or anything like that. Stealth Mode, in my opinion, is the better drill track we get here. This might be one of the best choruses on the album. Maybe one of my favorite Cole choruses ever, about bringing the bottles out in stealth mode. I mean, on this track, Cole is flowing perfectly, hitting every single pocket. It's rare to see Cole in the type of mode where he's really just rapping about wealth, woman, and weed, you know, the 3 W's of mainstream hip-hop music, but he still does his thing with it, has pretty good lyrics. It's not like he's giving out a Gunna-level lyrics, even though he's talking about Gunna-type stuff with, again, this is a big flex song for Cole, where like wealth flex, not like best in the rap game type flex. And like I said, this song is a really catchy chorus and is super enjoyable in my opinion. I love this song. The Boz inclusion on the end of the song is a little weird and misguided, and it didn't need to be there, but still cool. We also see Cole on the track Pie, which honestly is just like a very underground, abstract hip-hop type of juggernaut song. We get like a 5-minute track with features from Ab-Soul and Daylight. Daylight also produced this track, and I mean, this instrumental, whew, let me tell you, it is coated with that underground vibe, with the super beautiful Angel S sample woven in, and the great percussion and gritty horns that hit at the same time on every downbeat. And the first half of this song is Ab-Soul and Daylight trading bars back and forth. They both, again, barred the fuck up. It's Ab-Soul, very great lyricism on this track. You also get very great lyricism from Cole on his half. Just to be honest, for me personally, as much as I love a song like this, it's a little bit long, it drags a little bit, and despite the amazing rapping on this track and the beautiful instrumental, just doesn't really do much for me. Like, again, amazing, great, super, super cool track that I enjoy. Just not my favorite. At 11, we have the most overhated song on the album. We're talking about Fever. Everyone wants to hate on J. Cole, little melodic singing song. I actually enjoy this song. Like, not even like, oh, it's good. Like, I like this song. It's great, I would even say. Like, yeah, we do get simplistic lyricism from Cole, as well as simplistic subject matter for this kind of love song, where he raps about wanting one woman, but also wanting a bunch of others. So the content's a mixed bag here. But this melodic, like, tropical island vibe is awesome. I know some people, again, hate on it. I think this is a good vibe. I like the chorus, Fever. And finally, we have to talk about the track that's no longer on the album, but was so important to this album's release, you can't discount it. 7-Minute Drill. A lot of people hated on this track. Personally, I loved it. I wish it was still on streaming. I love the first half of the instrumental, the very fast-paced, almost Detroit-style trap beat, which has a hard-ass bell on it. You got J. Cole with a good chorus here, rapping his ass off with that energy, with that hunger. This is where we get some Kendrick shots. Your first one was classic. Your last shit was tragic. Calling Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers tragic, I don't think it's quite a diss as much as the fact that the album itself is a tragedy. A lot of people compare Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers to a play. It's very tragic from Kendrick's perspective. Maybe he means it's tragic to see Kendrick hopping out of the rap game. I don't think he was discrediting the quality of the album, but I think because, you know, on the album, Kendrick does put the crown down. That could be tragic. Or the fact that, again, it's a very surreal, very personal, and personally devastating album for Kendrick. He also said that T-Pad put people to sleep, but they gassed it, which I've seen people say this. I disagree with it, but that is a narrative that I've seen online. He also said your third shit was your prime. Another bar that I liked here was like, how ironic, now that I got it, he won some with me. He also said, what was the other one? He averaged one verse like every 30 months or so. If he wasn't dissing them, we wouldn't be discussing them. And yeah, I mean, like I said, I'm not going to talk a whole lot about the disses, but they happened. They were there. They were like throughout the album, low key. If you were really listening, there's so much about Cole being the best rapper on this album. And I mean, yeah, I think a lot of people were way too harsh on these. Like he said on the track, they were warning shots, and I enjoyed a good handful of these and thought of them to be more of playful shots than anything super serious, which I think is what Cole was going for. And of course, the second half of the song with the amazing beat switch to the Conductor Williams beat. Whew, I get another reason to love this song. Overall, content-wise, this album's kind of a mixed bag in terms of what you're getting on instrumentals, on different types of vibes, and I enjoyed that. I enjoy the range here, especially since this is more of a mixtape type album. Cole just trying some shit out, dropping some songs he wanted to drop, and I enjoyed most of these. I'm glad that he dropped it. Though this isn't his best album, I don't think it's worse either. It's a solid collection of tracks. Definitely some highlights here. Like I said, Trey the Truth in Ibiza, Hunting Wabbits, Crocodile Tears, Pie, 3001. They're like... There's a lot of really memorable tracks here. There's some that are also not so memorable that I don't really care for. But, I mean, yeah, Cole's pen game for the most part was really leveled up here. And this was a good display of Cole's willingness to try new things, how capable he is as a rapper and a lyricist, and the range he has within rap. So, for what this drop was supposed to do, I think it succeeded. I also think this means we don't get the fall off for at least another year, at least 2025. Which is fine, I guess. I mean, this is going to do his job and hold us over because I personally enjoyed it. I'm feeling a soft to solid 7 on this. As well, I will be giving it... Oh, how do I want to do this? 3.5 fingers of enjoyment for those of you guys who have not been keeping up recently. Although... the decimal rating system is gone. We also got the finger rating as the enjoyment rating because I'm not about to edit a bunch of stars on here, but 3.5 because I've been replaying this album a lot. There are some tracks here. There are some misses here, but there are some fucking tracks here. But yeah, I might delete this review later. You know, fuck it. If everyone's going to hate on it, might delete later. But let me know your thoughts in the comments because this has been a pretty divisive album. But I'm a fan of Cole, I'm a fan of this project, and I'm excited for what he has next. I appreciate all you guys tapping in. It means the world to me. Be sure to hit your like, your subscribe, your comment, all that shit. And I will catch you in the next one. Peace.